Okay. So today topic is vendor master record. Okay. So what do you mean by vendor? What do you mean by vendor? Whoever is supplying the goods, who supplying the goods, generally we calling as a vendor, right? So that means when we are buying the goods from outside, okay, who's supplying the goods? He is my supplier. So vendor and supplier both are same. Okay. And customer, what do you mean by customer? Who
Recipe.
who bought goods from our side? Who bought the goods from our company? He is my customer. Okay, so vendor is always it is a supplier. Vendor supplier is the same. Okay, so now when we're discussing about the vendor master record, so the vendor master record is depending on two levels. One is company code level, then another one is purchasing organization level. Okay, so that means two levels we are maintaining the data for vendor master record. Okay, and if you're talking about a material master record, we are maintaining different levels like plant level we are maintaining, store location level we are maintaining, and we are maintaining at warehouse level, we are maintaining at uh, sales organization, distribution channel, division level. So like we are maintaining different levels. Like in the vendor master record, we are maintaining at company code level and purchasing organization level. Okay, so generally in the standard, okay, in the real time, the company code data will be maintained by finance team. Company code data will be maintained by finance team. Okay, then our purchasing organization data will be taken care by will be MM side. Okay, so that is what vendor master record. So when vendor master record is creating, if the master data team is performing to create the vendor master record, then they will get all the information from company code level data, that means finance level, and purchasing organization data, which is from material management team. Okay, that means procurement team. Okay, and finance team. Okay, so now we have the different transaction code to create the vendor master record, that is XK01, okay, or MK01 or FK01. This is the transaction code which is centrally creation of vendor master record. Okay, centrally creation of vendor master record is nothing but like centrally creation of vendor master record. That means okay, you can create both data, company code data and purchasing organization data in single transaction code. Okay, and if it is the if it is MK01, it is only we can maintain purchasing organization data. Okay, and FK01 is it's only for company code level data. Okay, so when we are talking about the vendor master record, so there will be a company code data level, company code level data, and there will be a purchasing level data is there. Okay, clear? So other than these two, we have the general information also, general data level, general data which is common for the all, which is having like address details and phone numbers and uh, maybe fax numbers, other information which is maintaining in the general data. So, so in the metal master card, if you see that we have basic data, we have purchasing data, we have MRP data, we have accounting data, we have costing data, we have planned data, store location data, sales data, all is there. The same way in the vendor master card, we have the general data and we have the company code level data. Then we have the purchasing organization level data. Okay, clear? So these three levels we are maintaining the data. Okay. Now in the metal master record, if you remember that we said that material type is the major factor that is controlling the metal master record. In the vendor master record, the vendor account group is the major one. It is controlling the entire vendor master record. Okay, controlling the vendor master record. Okay, so what is this vendor account group? So I know material type like there is a different types of material types it is there, which is like raw material, semi-finished goods, finished goods, perishables, like we have different material types. But coming to the vendor master record, okay, how we can differentiate this vendor master record by vendor account group? Vendor account group is nothing but like a, it's kind of that, okay, it's kind of the domestic vendor, it's kind of the import vendor, it is kind of the one time vendor, or it's kind of the how you are differentiating the your vendors. Okay, if it is local vendors, then how you are differentiating, then if it is import vendors, how you are differentiating that, if it is service vendors, how you are differentiating that. Okay, so like you can define financial vendors, like you can define that in the vendor account group. So basically group of the vendors which is the same kind of the activity, which same kind of the group that we considering as a vendor account group. Okay, so generally how we will be categorizing, like we are categorizing like domestic and the import, and maybe he's a payee, okay, or he's a service vendor, like we can define FI vendor, like we can define. Okay, so vendor account group is a very important that controlling the vendor master record. Clear? Is that clear? Any questions here?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have the standard vendor account group. Okay, and 0001, 0002, 0003, like we have different vendor account groups are there in the standard. But if that depends on the client requirement, if they want to differentiate their own account groups, that you can define with the customization. Okay, so how vendor account group is the classifying the future of the vendor master records. Okay, so again, what controls it will be like, as we defined earlier in the metal master record, material type, how it is controlling. It is controlling the number range, it is controlling the internal or external number range, field selection control, like that, right? So here also, in the vendor master record also, based on your selection of the vendor account group, I can define like my own number range. Okay, I can define like my own internal number range or external number range. Okay, and I can define like fields, which fields it is mandatory, which fields is not mandatory, and optional hide, that we can do it. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So it's like a collection of attributes controlling the master data. So let's go with that. The first one, uh, you need to be create the vendor master record. In the transaction code is OMSJ. Okay, then OMSJ, okay, OMSG and OMSJ. OMSJ is for number range. Okay, so OMSG is for vendor account group creation. Okay, so what are the important things here? How vendor master record, vendor account group is controlling? The first one is number ranges. Okay, so which number range you want to be defined. Then the second one is internal or external number range. Okay, so I hope this is not required to explain the number range and the internal and external number range, because we already did for the metal master record. So the number range selections and the internal number range, external number range, that you are already aware what is the concept of that. And again, you already aware about the vendor selection as well, right? So which is like which field is mandatory, which field is not mandatory, optional, and all. You can do that. Okay, correct.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is not required. Then coming to the next one is one-time account group. Okay, so if the vendor account group which is created for one-time account group, that we called as a one-time vendor. Okay, so what is a one-time vendor account group? How it will be controlling that? One-time account group is nothing but like it's a dummy vendor. Okay, dummy vendor account group. So it will be using to create the duplicate vendor code. So what do you mean by duplicate vendor code? Okay, see, um, I can see in my area there are thousands of vendors that are supplying the goods. Okay, but all these vendors I will not buy the goods regularly. Okay, so maybe sometimes it is needed. I can purchase the goods from that vendor, but he is not my regular vendor. Is somewhere sometimes it will be emergency. I'm just buying from that vendor, but I am he is not my regular vendor. Okay, so what you can do here? Okay, you can do you create one duplicate code for one-time account group. Okay, then you can use this code whenever you're planning to buy who is a irregular vendors. That means unwanted vendors. Okay, we don't need these vendors as a regular vendors. Okay, so that means, okay, if I created a PO today, okay, the PO having that, suppose I have created one account group which is like the ABCD. ABCD is the code which is vendor account to group code which is for one time vendor. Okay, one time vendor account group. Then this ABCD is the duplicate vendor code which I can use to create the POs. Okay, n number of POs I can use, but every time when I'm creating the PO number one, let's say PO number one. Okay, it is something like heritage. Heritage is not my regular vendor, but I can buy sometimes from the heritage which when it is needed. Maybe it's not regular vendor. Okay, so rarely it maybe after 2 months or 3 months, every 3 months or 4 months, rarely I will be buy product when I have the shortage. Okay, then if suppose I have the PO2 which is like Spencer. Okay, check which is like a Spencer, and if I have the PO3, okay, PO3 which is like a maybe I can say like something Reliance Fresh. Okay, so now if I see that PO1 is created for Heritage, PO2 is created for Spencer, PO3 is created for Reliance Fresher. These are all not my regular vendors. These are not my regular vendors. So rarely I'm purchasing them. Okay. Now what I can use, I can do this is for same ABCD code I can use. Okay. And here also I can use the same ABCD code. And here also I can use the same ABCD code. Okay. So, you can ask me, sir, you are created only one code, vendor code. How it will be like you can assign the same vendor code for this heritage and same vendor code for the Spencer, VM code for the Reliance Fresh. Okay, so it is like it is a duplicate code. It is not representing at the time of enter master record. It is not representing to any of the vendor. It is something like duplicate code which is for reference, because I need to create a PO. The PO should be have the vendor code, but I cannot create every time when I'm having the irregular vendors. Every time I cannot create the master data, because if I want to create a master data, there is a number of process needs to be followed, right? So I don't want to do that. So in emergency cases, I want to use this heritage. Okay, so in that case what you can do, in this case what you can use this duplicate code, and you can mention the heritage fresh or heritage showroom address details in the PO1. Then once this PO1 is completed, GR and invoice, then it is completed. Only it is representing this PO1. Again when I'm creating this PO2, again GR once it is completed and IR is completed, this vendor is closed. This address was closed for this vendor. And again it is happened GR and IR, then this is closed. Okay, so I can see the code was same, but addresses are different. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Sir, here we are not creating vendor, we are creating vendor group for one-time vendor.
No, vendor only. We are creating the vendor only with using the one-time vendor account group.
Okay, sir.
See, suppose let's say 0099 is a one-time vendor. Let's assume that. Okay, so by using this one-time vendor account group, okay, I created that ABCD vendor number.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because this vendor number need to be used in the POs, because every PO the vendor number is mandatory to create a PO. Correct. So I don't have a regular vendor. I'm just using the duplicate vendor code. Okay. Clear?
Like for paying purpose, yes.
Huh. Processing for that PO.
Okay.
Okay. Again, next PO it will be change again. Every time it will be asked that okay, who is the vendor address, how to pay, and what is the currency. All these details it will be asked. Okay.
Sir, vendor number is common for all the one-time vendor.
Vendor number is common. Duplicate vendor it is like just code
Okay, sir.
reference code purpose. Okay. Because when I create the PO, vendor number is mandatory. Okay, but I don't have master data for heritage. I don't have master data for Spencer. I don't have Reliance Fresh master data. Okay, so if I need to be maintain the master data, I need so much information from these vendors, right? So to avoid that, maybe you can go ahead like one time because he is not my regular vendor. Okay, rarely I'm using yearly once or twice or something like that. Clear?
Sir, simultaneously, if you have two vendors, one-time vendor, at the time, what will be the vendor code, vendor number at the time? Same ABCD, ABCD for.
Okay, I didn't get you again.
Sir,
Like
simultaneously.
Okay.
You can tell.
You're saying that ABCD and BCD. Okay,
Like two different vendors, like at a time, like vendor group will be there, no? Same, what we are not using, no, what we are not taking. That time, which code you will be using? That is what your doubt, right, Venkat?
No, I didn't get you. You're saying at PO level, you're saying at vendor master record level.
Like
I'm
two
asking.
vendor account groups at a time, like one time vendor groups are there, two at a time. Like suppose Heritage and Spencer both we are buying at a time. So in that way,
Then PO numbers are different, right? That's what we are saying. I didn't say that different timings, right? Even I can rise at a time.
Okay, sir. Clear. Now it is clear.
So it is only tracking this PO number only. It is not coming to the next PO. Okay, even you created at a time, but PO1, PO2, PO3 numbers are different. The identity number is different. So obviously this is representing to this heritage. This PO2 is representing to Spencer. This PO3 is representing to Reliance Fresh. But if you're creating on time or it is different times, it's not a point here.
Okay.
Okay, clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, it's just a duplicate code. Okay, it's just like a duplicate code. Okay, because I need to be process the PO. I don't have a regular vendor, so I am planning to use this code as a reference. That's all. Okay, clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The next one is which is vendor subrange and plant relevant data. Okay. So what do you mean by this one? Vendor subrange and plant relevant data. So what is the meaning of that? Anyone have an idea?
No, sir. Means when there are multiple functions for that. Not only we are supplying for us, but you do multiple activities. For that, vendor subrange is going to use, I think.
Not multiple activities. Okay. Okay. See, if suppose you said one question, right? So what is meaning of the vendor subrange? If you want to be maintained one vendor code having multiple purchasing data. If you have the requirement like multiple purchasing data. Simply, if I want to say, if one vendor having multiple purchasing data, if it is required to maintain the multiple purchasing data, then you can use the vendor subrange. So generally, when it is required purchasing data, when it is required multiple purchasing data need to be maintained for this vendor.
Sorry, didn't got you, like
multiple purchasing data. That means when I'm using this vendor, the procurement related what information it is required. Generally, what it will be there procurement information means maybe order currency. Order currency will be when I just create a PO, I also need the what is the vendor currency because I need to pay the amount to that vendor. So what currency it is we can pay, right? And payment terms and conditions and payment terms and inco terms. these conditions are required, because when I just create the purchase order, so I must be aware about that this vendor is giving any conditions, like within the 15 days if I paid, they will give the 2% discount. Within the 45 days if they paid, then we have to pay that unit, and if it is a delay, then what is the penalties. So some payment terms will be there, right? They're same like Incoterms like whether the delivery is our responsibility or it is vendor responsibility. So there are so many conditions will be there, right, at the time of PO creation with the
Like
respect to the
vendor
vendor.
discounts, like discounts.
Whatever it may be, whether it is a discounts, that means pricing related, which pricing structure needs to be designed for this vendor, right? So some purchasing data needs to be maintained. If you see that in the MetaMask record, why we are maintaining the purchasing data for MetaMask record? Because to run the PO, to run the PR, or to purchase the stock, purchase the material from that vendor, purchase that material from the for that material, what information it is required, that we are maintaining. The same way in the vendor master record also, if you want to buy the product from this vendor, okay, what information it is required to process at the time of PO creation. So general what it is required, okay, this vendor have this currency. That means if my company is from the India and the vendor is from the maybe in the England, or it may be some US or something, then you must be paid in the dollars, right? Must be playing the dollars, not in the INR, because it is the he is from the order currency is from euro, USD, dollars, right? So some purchasing data which is required. Now in this vendor sub range, what will be happen? Okay, when vendor need to maintain two different purchasing data. So what cases it is like, if suppose general okay, I'll just go to a screen, then I will be I'll show you that what information it is there in the purchasing data. Okay, now I'm just going to create the purchasing vendor, okay, any of the vendors, which I'm just going with that okay. So now I'm just planning to create a purchasing data. Okay, then I'll just enter the address details and the other things, the vendor, and I'm just entering that what it is required. If it is duplicate vendor, it will be asked. Okay. Okay. Now I'll be going to purchasing data. This is the purchasing data. Okay. That means by using this vendor, if I want to create a PO, or if I want to create any other purchase procurement related like contracts, scheduling agreements, anything which is a external purchasing document which you need to be created. These are the information which is capturing from the master data. That means what is the vendor order currency, what is the vendor payment terms, what is the vendor incoterms, how much minimum order value, maybe. So some vendors, what will happen, they will not accept very less quantity. Maybe if I go to supermarket, if I say that 100 grams, please give me 100 grams, they will not accept it, because that is minimum of 500 grams at maybe 1 kg, right? So the minimum order value and the minimum order quantity, like, okay, schema group, and this and all information it is there when it is creating the purchasing, when you are creating the vendor master chart. Okay, when I'm just using the list vendor. So now in this case, vendor subrange is the one case, okay, which the vendor need two multiple purchasing data. It means I'm just creating here one purchasing data. Maybe in this case, vendor subrange, maybe vendor need multiple purchasing data. So what cases it will be? Why I need to create two purchasing data for the same vendor? Just take the example, na, order currency. In what cases we need to?
Different countries for that way.
Yeah, so country. So one is the vendor is supplying in India and the vendor is supplying outside the India, right?
Yes.
Okay, or maybe vendor is supplying the same location, but it is different origins, right? So when there is a multiple, because when I just see Incoterms, okay, from Hyderabad to Mumbai, okay, the free of cost, the cost will be high for transportation cost. Okay, so if it is a within the local area, if it is within the Hyderabad, then might be I can adjust like, okay, boss, it is just like 10 kilometers. Why you cannot take this as a free delivery? Okay, why you are charging transportation charges and all? Right, right, correct or wrong?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so when this type of the things which is there, I can maintain the vendor sub range, and dividing that, okay, we can maintain the multiple purchasing data for each level. Okay, clear?
Yes.
It's not only purchasing data, you can also maintain the partner data, partner function data also. Okay, so what is the meaning of the partner functions? Okay, I'll just tell you here what is the meaning of the partner functions. You can also define that partner function. So what is the meaning of the partner functions? Anyone have the partner functions? What means it's like partners? Okay, multiple persons. So what if I am doing the business, if I am the supplier, I have the multiple partners. You are my partner, or it may be Venkat is my partner, so someone is my partner. So why I need to go with these partners? Because the partners, they are doing their own activities. Like suppose Amazon is the one company, and Amazon and Samsung is the one company. So Amazon is saying that Samsung is my business partner. He's saying Samsung is my business partner. Why they're saying? Why they're saying? Because Amazon giving the orders and Samsung is supplying the goods, right? So in this case, what will be happen? Amazon got the orders. So who is receiving orders? Order received. Who is receiving orders? Amazon.
Yes.
But who is supplying the goods?
Samsung.
Samsung, right? So supplying the goods, that means delivered. Who delivered? Okay, so that delivered by Samsung team. Okay, then if suppose Amazon is the main vendor and Samsung is the partner, and one more partner which is like, okay, which is like suppose page up, page up or something, which is I'm just saying example. Okay, which is like a it is one partner. They're taking care about that all the payments. Okay, so who will receive the payments now?
Pays
Who
up.
will receive? Page up, right? So that means Amazon is the order received and Samsung is the supplying, and receive price up is the payment received, right? So when these cases, the main vendor is someone who is a main vendor is someone, maybe multiple business partners are there. That is ordering address is different, who delivering is different, who is paying pay is different. Okay, so like if I started a business, I have the multiple partners. Okay, the same way here, when I'm using the vendor account group, I can control that. Okay, what partner functions are mandatory, what partner functions are optional, and what partner functions needs to be allowed. Clear? Okay, clear?
Yes. Sir.
Okay, multiple partners. So he is the main vendor. For this vendor, multiple partners are there. Clear? Sometimes what will be happen? The main vendor itself, he is the ordering address, he is the supplying, he is the they are taking the payments, he is the invoice generating. All these things will be happen from the same vendor. Sometimes what will be happen? Maybe we have the multiple sub partners. They are taking care about that. Okay, clear? Any questions on the partner function? Any
No, sir.
questions? Right? Okay. Now plant relevant data. Again, plant relevant data is nothing but like if I have the multiple plants, okay, So each and every plant have the different cases. So if I'm the vendor, I'm supplying from the Hyderabad. So he said that if I'm supplying to the Hyderabad, I'm good. If I'm supplying to Bangalore, also I'm good. If I'm supplying to the Mumbai DC, a Mumbai plant, then it's it's different. My conditions are different. My person is different. Who is contact person is different. All is different. So in that case, you can create a plant relevant data and you can maintain each plant level what it is like. Clear? Is that clear? Is that clear or wrong? Anything? Any doubts? You just let me know. I'll just give you one more example if you need. Kiranmai and Venkat.
No.
Sir,
No. Okay. So let's go with that on screen. How we can do? Okay. So might be you will be getting idea about that. Okay. Okay. So what I said here, OMSG is the account group creation. Okay. You can go directly OMSG and you can do. Okay, this is the vendor account groups creation. Or if you want to go with a part, you can go with a part.
sir, here how can we understand that which one is IMG T code, which one is normal display T code? Well,
What
hello?
display?
Sir, there are two type of T code. So one is consultant T code, which we are using in IMG screen. Normal.
Okay.
One is end user screen. There are some
Okay.
T codes there. So
Okay,
how can we know that which T code is for which one?
Okay. So configuration is nothing but like a which we are not performing in the production system. Okay, and master data and the transaction data that will be performing by users in the production system. Okay, so when you look into this one, mostly it will be start with O. Okay, mostly when it is started with O, these are all it's configuration related. Okay, clear? And where it is started with M, where it is started X, sorry, where it is X started with F and something D or V, okay, L, all these transaction codes are the transaction data or it is master data.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
okay, that is one thing. Okay, other than this one, by looking into that screen itself, you can identify that because configuration is nothing but like it is something like a background configuration. Okay, so by using that we are not doing anything, we are setting the process, but we are not running the process.
Those are starts with O.
Oh, those are started with O. Mostly it will be started with O. Okay, clear? So if you see that OMS2, OMSJ, OMSG, these are again. If you
Like
see that
backend comments.
backend comments, these are. If you see that MMNR, okay, MMNR is the number range. It is again MMNR is the number range. Okay, you can directly assign the number ranges in the production system as well. Okay, clear? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'll just go to SPRO and material management. Okay. So these are all configuration steps which is helping to process the main transactions. Okay. So obviously configuration is different and the master data and transaction data are different. Okay. Now if I go to where we are in now, sorry, logistical general, go to logistical general and we'll go to business partner here.
No.
Business partners and go to vendors and control and here define the account group for the field. Okay, this is the OMSG. Okay, the transaction code. Clear? Now you can select any of the vendors. Okay, and go to details. Okay, so you can see here the sum of the standard which is there 0001, 0002, 0003, 0004, 0005 like that. Okay, so you can see here here itself they are saying that okay, if it is a main vendor, let's assume that this is main vendor. 0002 is the goods supplier. That means this 0002 vendor group, whoever they created the vendor number, that vendor is only supplying the goods. Okay, and if it is alternative pay means we are paying always we are always paying the amount to the this vendor. Okay, he is the taking care about the all the payments related. Okay, who will be generating invoice? Again, this one. Okay, so like you can divide that, like you can divide the partners by creating the multiple vendor numbers. Okay, and if you see that 0007 has a plan, if you see that last time when we are discussing about interestivo, okay, for interestivo we are entering the vendor number, company code to company code transfer, right? So in that case I can use this is the as a vendor account. So like we can divide, if you see the one time vendor 0099. Okay, so these are the standard vendors. We have standard vendor account groups are there, but it's again your wish how you want to be create your customized ones, how you want to be create, you can create it. Okay, there is no rule. What there is no rule here to you should be go with the 0002, you should be go with 0004, like we don't have any rule. You can create your own style of the vendor account group. Okay, and you can define description what you understand. Okay, so generally we will be dividing the vendor account group based on the domestic, based on the import, based on the service, based on the FI vendor, based on one time vendor, like we are defining. Okay, so generally what cases will be there vendor account group? Generally what cases we have? One is domestic. Okay, this is the real time. Okay, here it is a different, but here it is a real time. Okay, domestic, and I can define the import vendor account group. Okay, and I can define service vendor account group, and I can define FI vendor, and I can create I can define employee is a vendor, because he is the employee of my company, but he also doing some kind of the vendor. He also performing like it. Okay, so like one time vendor. Okay, so like we can define, okay, transportation vendor. Okay, so like we can define our own style of the vendor account group. Okay, clear?
Domestic vendor mean?
Domestic is a local vendor, no?
Okay.
Domestic is nothing but like in India, suppose in our country. Okay, now outside import is nothing but like outside country, right?
Okay.
Okay, and FI vendors are the who we are paying directly, only payments. Like we are not doing any procurement from this vendor, only for the pay. FI vendors, finance related. Okay, direct payments it is like clear, and employees will be sometimes vendor as well. And we can transport vendors, carriers, we can depends again. Okay, wherever we are paying that vendors, so we can define or categorize that under account groups. Okay, clear?
Sir, here when employee as a vendor, we keep in a regular system. Employee ID is the vendor code there.
You can define employee.
So how can we get the number there, sir?
Employee number you have to create.
Automatic HR's data will not get.
HR master records is different again. HR master records they will be creating the HR peoples. They will be created. That means HR there is a separate module. They will create.
Okay.
If you remember that when we discussing last time in the EDA conversation, I think when we are discussing about the flexible workflow, I just shown that how to create the employee master record. Did you remember
Yes,
that?
Sir.
Did you remember that?
In release strategy also, the employee data automatically will get fetched in system for releasing strategy also.
Correct. You can use the users also. You can use the employees also. Wherever you can use that. That's not a problem. They must be have the user ID, or they must be have because it is coming to the SAP business workplace, right? The SBWP. So they must be have the access for that SAP login. So that's what we generally using the user IDs. Okay. Clear?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So any questions on this one? How we are defining the account groups? So this is the real time. Okay, if it is see most of the companies they are following like this one. If you see that it is just SAP which is giving the options like you can use like vendors, you can use as a good supplier, you can use as an alternate pay, US present and forwarding agent like that you can use. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? So what I can do, maybe I can create my own style of the vendor account group, which is like 001. Okay, and I can create like that 002. Then I can create like Z003. Like I can create my own account group and I can define like this is domestic, this is a vendor, this is import vendor. Okay, might be copying from the existing one. Okay, clear? Is there any questions here? Can I go ahead for the next?
No questions. Okay.
Okay. Now select the if you want to create that, you can just click on copy hash and you can define your own. Okay, maybe I just defining like maybe I'm just putting like a MVK. Okay, so I'm just putting like milk vendor, milk supplier. Okay, so I'm just defining one account group. He's a milk supplier, or maybe whatever it may be. You can define your own style of the group. Okay, so milk suppliers again they have different full fat, half fat, and again different it is there. So milk supplier group it is like. Okay, I'm just defining like that. Okay, or it may be you can define like maybe the local vendor account group or it may be domestic vendor account group like you can define it. Okay, so for understanding purpose I'm just creating like milk vendor local. Okay, if I'm running the milk business I can put it like milk vendor local. Okay, so whatever it may be it's for understanding purpose only. Okay, so you can define your own style of the description, there is no restriction on all. Okay, clear? Now
Inside that sub range, vendor sub range, some option was there.
I'll just come. Still, it is not completed. I'm in the step one only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I just created right now and now let's go with the controls. This is the controls, right? Okay. So I just created my own style of the group. How it is controlling the my vendor account, vendor master record. Okay. The first one is number range. Okay. So if I just go to details and I can see that there is a number range. Okay. Group. There is a number range group.
External they given.
No, not external. It is something number. Okay.
Okay.
Alphabetic, alphanumeric, or numeric, whatever it may be. If you see that it is grayed out here, that means you cannot do number range here itself in OMSG. What you need to go, you have to be defined separately for that number ranges. So then I can go to here number range part here. Okay. So when you creating the number ranges, first what you need to do, you define the number range series. Okay, number range series. Let's say suppose I just defining like 1000 like okay one number. So this is the my series. Let's assume that this is the my series. Then this number series I'm assigning to one group 01 or it may be x1 or it may be xx or it may be kk whatever it may be. Okay, I'm just defining one group name. That group name I'm assigning to the my vendor account group. Okay, if you remember that in the metal master record material type, what we did first, we just created one group. That group having the number range, that number range and the account group is assigned, and that account group, that group I just assigned to the material type. The same way here also, I'm just creating the one group name that is x101 like that, 2 digits name. That digits having that number range. Okay, I will be assigning this number to this any of the one number to my vendor account group. So it means that okay. So the next x1 is like 2 series something which is like 299999999. Okay, this is the allotted for this one. Then when it is defined for the next group, which is like 30000 and 3999, which is like that. Okay, that is for double X. Okay, then I will be when it is KK, it is like 4 series. Okay, so if what number series you're planning to assign, that depends on that. You can assign your own group. that you can assign your group to that vendor account group. Okay, clear? Is that clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now go to define number range. First to go to intervals and let's see what intervals it is there. Okay, what intervals it is there. So the same it is like you can see, or you can 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 07 it is not there, 09 it is not there, 08 is not there. Or if you want to go with alphabetic, then AA it is not there, AB is not there, AC is not there, AD, a number of them. What it is needed, you can define your own style. Okay, what is needed you can define. Okay, so now I'll be go insert that, and I'm selecting that something like AA. Okay, or A1, it's anything you can define. Okay, now I just need again free intervals. Let's go to free intervals to check which free intervals you want to be defined. Okay, clear? Based on the here selection, okay, based on the here selection, the system will be capturing that. Okay, this is 07. Okay, it is giving the number. Okay, you can directly assign here, putting like x1 or something, or if you select it, then it will be take automatically. Okay, clear? And again, if you see that here, the external number range or internal number range checkbox it is there. Based on internal number range, external number range, it will be. Okay, clear? Okay, clear? Any questions here?
No, sir, no questions.
So anyone having that? You can select X1 and select.
Sir, can you repeat one second?
Okay, so okay, the first thing is you need to be check the free intervals what it is available, because other intervals already used. Okay, already used for the some other account groups. Okay, so you are creating your own style of the vendor account group, so you can define your own style of the number ranges. So what I can do, I can go to free intervals, checking that what account group, what number ranges are free. So these number ranges they didn't use as of now.
Yeah, got it. Like
Okay,
same
now
in
what,
material.
yeah, what you can do, you can select and enter, then automatically system will check that the number series interval what it is free. If it is 07 it is there, 08 and 09 it will be checked. Or if you want to be define your own style of that number, you can select that. Okay, A1. Okay, then enter. Then what will be happen in the system? Okay, A1 already it is there. Okay, then A2. Then A2 is created. Now you can see A2 is created. Then you can save. Clear?
Okay, this one we should assign to vendor account group, right?
Ah, correct. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So now they enter from number range group. Somewhere it is getting error. Okay, let's see. Okay, and how let's see if it is already sent or not, because it is giving some error message. Okay, okay. So I just created what number range is created. Let's see what error is getting now. Okay, I'm not getting any error. Okay, let's go here and check the intervals. And I'll take any after one interval. Okay, then I'll put something like X R3 or something which I'm just putting. So if anything overlap it is there, then the system will give the error message. Okay, if it is not overlapping, then it will go. So now I assigned X3. So that X3 which is assigned here. Okay, so you can see the number status as well. Okay, still it is not created any records under this number range. Okay, you see that the above, which is already some number ranges are created. Okay, clear? Now I just assign this interval to my group. What is my group? ZMK P, right? ZMKB, which is a milk vendor local. So here I can assign my
Number range
X3 number range, right? What is my number range? It is X3, right? It is X3 only.
X3 only.
X3, right? Okay. So this is the X3 which is I created. Okay. So this is the way we will be creating, we will be assigning the number ranges, external number range and internal number range. Okay, clear? These two?
Clear.
Okay, now I'll be go back and I'll be go to again account groups creation. Now I'll be go to ZMK and you can go to details, select the details and you can see that. Okay, go to details and you can see that it is changed. from a WX to XT. Okay, clear? Is that clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Now coming to the field selection control. You can see here a field select status are there. So there is a general data, company code data, purchasing sub-range data, purchasing plan data, which we discussed, right? So different levels of data is there. You can go select this one and you can select this one. Then you can see that name one, form there, search term and thing it is there. Okay. So if based on the suppress and required and optional display, whatever it is selected here, it will be the vendor master record will be controlled. The field selection. I hope it is you already aware. So no need to explain about this one, right?
No.
Well, it's clear, right? Venkat, you also, right?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Sir.
Okay. So you can go all the levels, like all the fields, whatever it is there, company code, etc. Then you can go here, field selection required, optional, and you can see all these things which will be there. What are the screens are there? It will be displayed here. Okay. Now next the third one, which is like vendor account group, one-time vendor account group. So if this vendor account group is, you're assuming that to create for the one-time vendors, then you must be select the one-time account. If you selected the one-time account, then it is not a regular vendor. It is a one-time account. Okay, the duplicate vendor. Clear? Is that clear?
So, sir, but here, what the vendor numbers are here? It's come only one number.
Any number, n number of vendors you can create.
Like
There is no-
Redem, that
there is
vendor
no
only.
Okay, there is no restriction to create a vendor number. Okay, but
No, sir. For one-time vendor.
One-time vendor also, there is no restriction to create a vendor numbers. Okay, you can create a number of vendors, but those are not valid. Only duplicates. Okay, so we'll do one process here. Okay, I'll just create the one more one-time vendor. Okay, so I'll just take after any of the one-time vendor. So I'll just
Like
start.
already, what is the vendor is already what vendor we have in the, again we will create as duplicate, right? And you will keep like that.
No. By using this vendor account group, I'm creating the vendor number.
I didn't got one second.
No, this is the groups only. I didn't created any vendor numbers as of now. Vendor
Okay.
code is different. Vendor group is different.
Okay.
So I'm just telling that this is the one-time account group, but still it is not created any vendor number. Okay, like in Metal Master record, you didn't create the material number. You have the material types, raw materials, packing
Yeah.
materials. Okay, like here it is a one-time vendor account group. It is clear. Okay, so we'll do one thing. Okay, I'll just create this one. Okay, if you see that 0099, they selected the vendor one-time account. So if I created that vendor number, okay, if I created the vendor number, what is the use of that? Okay, I'll just creating that one thing. I'm getting call or something. Also, messages on. Okay, no problem. So if I just copy this one, okay, copy has or you can create also, no problem, for test scenario only, right? So I'm just creating the XK01 with using this 0099, okay, and I'm just creating the one-time vendor. Like let's see, it is whether it is like external number range and internal number range. Not sure about that. Okay, so I'm just creating that. You can use this one. Enter, then it is external number range. Okay, so just one time vendor. Okay, OTB. Okay, I'm just one time vendor. Okay, so it is number series which is started with 1. Okay, so okay, so this is not there. So again, it is going with more than that. Okay. Okay, so I'm just creating. So I'm just putting like one time account, one time vendor group, under one time vendor code. Okay, so I'm just putting one time vendor code. Okay, see here, I'm not mentioning anything. Okay, I am not mentioning any complete details. Okay, I just entered that description as a one-time account. So I'm not entering any other information. Just the reconciliation accounts which which needs to be posted and all, which I'm mentioning here. Okay, then you can also skip the order currency and other details, and you can save. Okay, then maybe you can create to you can maintain the order currency also, no problem. Maybe when it is a local vendors, you can use that maybe. Now I created this vendor account group, right? So if you see, I just created this vendor account group. If I'm creating the PO for this vendor, if I'm using the vendor account group, okay. So if see that I'm just planning to buy any product here, so it is asking the currency again, okay, which currency it is like. Okay, then just assigning that other details, what it is required, all this information. Okay, now you can see that. Okay, this is a one-time vendor account group, right? So what you need to do, you must be entered that address details, the vendor address, so with the name. Okay, so I just said heritage. Okay, and it is like something like 560078. Okay, something like Bangalore. Okay, so I just enter the details, all these details, because it is a one-time vendor. I don't know the complete details at the time of creation because he is not my regular vendor. So because I don't have the proper data for this vendor. Okay, so but I need to create the PO for this vendor, heritage vendor. I'm using this as a code, reference code. Okay, now I'm just creating PO. Okay, now I created a PO, so I can see that this is a one-time vendor, but the address is different. Okay, because this is a heritage. Okay, now the next time when I'm creating one more PO with the same using this vendor number. Okay, this time I'm planning to buy this product from some other product, maybe they whatever it may be. Okay, I'm just planning to use this code as a duplicate vendor. Okay, what I'm just doing this time, I'm just assigning USD. Okay, then I'll just planning to buy this product. Okay, and I'll just put that $100 and other thing, and I can put that at this time. Maybe the address will be different. Okay, I can put like yes, Amazon. Okay, and something which is like something, what is something, maybe I'm just assigning that New Jersey or something. Okay, and US. So like I can assign that. Okay, so there must be some 5 digits, 6 digits, something like that. Okay, so like, so every time I'm using this code for different purchase orders. Now this purchase order is for the I created with the same number but different address. Okay, and which I created earlier, that is for I'm using for the heritage. So like each and every PO had a different address. Okay, so because these are the vendors are not my regular vendors, these are our duplicate, these are my irregular vendors. So I don't need to be maintaining unnecessarily the master data. Okay, because it might be rarely I'm buying from these vendors, maybe one time or yearly once, or maybe rarely I'm buying this food. So I don't want to be maintaining master data again, all this information I don't want to maintain. So I just using the code. Clear? Is it clear? Is it clear or not clear? So the next PO again, different address you can maintain. Maybe you can maintain something different, or you can maintain same address. There is no use. PO to PO, it is completely one PO is only relevant to that PO only. If the vendor address is maintained in the one PO, only it is relevant to that PO only. It is not impacting to other PO.
Okay, vendor will be same, but addresses will be changing.
Changes. Okay,
Okay.
it is a duplicate. It is just using for the duplicate. Because
Okay.
I need to create a PO, I just need code. That's code. I'm just using duplicate code.
Okay, got it now.
Regular vendors. Okay, clear? Okay. Venkat, any questions here? Venkat, wake up. You're in mute. Okay. Vendor, you are there? Sorry. Venkat, you are there? Okay, he's disconnect. He's in mute. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to next, which is like vendor sub-range. Okay, plant relevant. Okay. So now if I go to OMXG again, okay, then if I go to, okay, if it is already opened, let's go. Now if I go to my vendor account group, which is ZMKV or something, select this details and go to details here. Then there is a vendor sub-range relevant data and plant relevant data, it is there. Okay. So if you selected these two, then I can use this functionality, vendor sub-range and plant relevant data. If you not selected these two, then I cannot use this functionality. Okay. Clear? 1.1. If you want to be used vendor sub-range plant relevant data, then you must be selected these two. It just okay. So if suppose I want to use this vendor sub-range, okay, then what I can do, I'll show you what will be happen. If I go to create any purchasing data, okay, if I use the create a purchasing data by using my my vendor account group, okay, I'm using this one, I'm creating this one now. Okay, so I'm just creating the my vendor account group. So now you can see that here there is a sub-range button. It is there, different data and sub-range. Okay, if I not selected these two, if I not selected these two, then this sub-range checkbox and sub-range different data will not be captured. Okay, let's see if I not selected this one. Okay, then I'll be go back and I'll be creating again MK01. Okay, then I'll be creating vendor master code. Okay, now you can see that it just when the sub-range button and the alternate data is there, it is not
No.
there. Okay, so if you want to use this functionality, you must be defined at a configuration level. Okay, now let's go to that. What is the functionality of this one? If okay, if the vendor needs to be maintain multiple purchasing data, okay, then you can use this vendor sub-range. Okay, that means if I just go to vendor sub-range one, okay, I'm just creating that X1. Okay, I'm just creating vendor sub-range one. Okay, and I will be creating like X2 again vendor sub-range 2. Okay, okay, now okay, this vendor multiple groups are it's vendor. Okay, okay, now is giving that okay, is mandatory. Okay, so partner functions, there is a problem with there. What I can do, I'll just remove this one. Let's see. Okay, now I will go to back. Ranges. Okay, I'm just creating that X1. It will be vendor sub-range 1. Next 2, which is like vendor sub-range 2. Okay, then I'll be maintaining that each multiple language level. Okay, and we might be go back. Okay, then what you can go to here, purchasing data scope, you click on sub ranges. Okay, then go to back and click on different data. Okay, so vendor sub range. Now what are the vendor sub ranges are there? I have X1, it is there. Okay, so sub range 1. Okay, then which plant it is, like you can multiple plans you can maintain. Then you want to be maintain a separate purchasing data or separate function data. Okay, that you need to be select. Then now instead of INR, I'm just maintaining that euro. Okay, and my payment times are 0001, and I'm just putting like CFR, cost freight rate. Okay, so like I can maintain my own conditions for one of the vendor sub range. Okay, one of the vendor sub range, which is like X1. Now I'll be go again and go to can go back. Okay, then go to again sub range 2, which is for sub range 2. Then I'll be go to plant data, create one more data which is for the sub range 2. Okay, this sub range 2, the same plant data. Okay, which I'm planning to maintain purchasing data and plan data. This time what I'm doing, I'm just putting the USD. And I'm just putting the payment terms are 202. Okay, then I'm just maintaining like insurance, it's like and something which is like CAR, which is something which I maintain, CAR, CIP. Okay, CIP insured freight free. Okay, now I just maintain the two data, which is like, okay. Now this vendor is created with this vendor having that two purchasing data. One is with X1, one is with X2. Two purchasing data. If I go to first one, okay, if I go to first one, then it will be like different data. If I maintain for X2, then it is a different data. If I go to vendor one, if I go to purchasing data, this is maintained euro. And if I maintain go to vendor subrange 2, then if I go to this one, then it is a USD. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now same vendor having the two purchasing data, how it will works like, if I create the ME11 PO, sorry, info record, if I create an info record with using this vendor, okay. If I created this one, what you can do here, you can enter that vendor subrange, okay, which vendor subrange is like X1 or X2. Okay. Okay, so this vendor, when I'm buying this material, this is the vendor subrange X1. Okay, this is the info record number. If I use the vendor subrange 2, that is different one. So like you can use that and you can maintain that information. Clear? Clear?
Yeah.
So like you can maintain that different different purchasing data with the same vendor. Clear?
Yes.
So any questions here?
As of now, no.
Okay. So when you creating the PO, with the same vendor using this vendor, the vendor name here, vendor number. Venkat, you are there? Okay. So vendor account group, I'm just using this vendor and I'm just creating the PO. Okay. See, now it's coming automatically euro because I just assigned info record for the X1 vendor subrange. Okay. So that vendor subrange which is capturing here. Clear?
Yeah.
So that's what it is coming. All the Incoterms, payment terms are it is capturing automatically from that vendor subrange. Okay. So if the some other material if you are using and some other vendor subrange if you are using, then that will be coming in the different way. Clear? Any questions here? Any
No.
questions?
No.
You can see the vendor subrange here. Okay. If I just change this to X2, okay, the automatically the currency was changed here, USD. And it will be changing automatically the payment terms and other details. Clear now?
Hmm.
Any questions here? Is that clear or it is any questions on the vendor subrange?
No. It's
Okay.
clear.
Okay. Now the same way, okay, the same way plant relevant data also you can maintain. Okay. So plant if we go to change more, okay, I go to plant. Okay, it is by not created at company code level. Okay. Just create a I will go to MK02 then. Okay, because I just created only purchasing data. That's why it is coming here. If I go to different data, multiple data, what you can do, you can create multiple plans. Okay, suppose it's 1100, then it is different. 1200, it is different. So in that case, we just saying that plant relevant data. Plant level relevant data means if it is a this vendor, if I'm buying from for the Hyderabad plant, that is the different factors, and it is Bangalore plant, it is different factors. Mumbai plant, it is different factors. Like so, you can create a number of entries for the different plants. Clear?
Yeah.
So I hope it is not necessary to show, or can I want to be show?
One time you can.
Yeah, okay. I'll just show you. Okay, so I'm just maintaining here. So now I just planning to different data. Okay, so I will just go to different data. Now I'll be creating for 1100. Okay, and 1200. Then according to the purchasing data which is required. Now when it is 1100 planned, okay, then I'm just putting that my terms, my payment terms are 001. And again, just putting like instead of planned, okay, and minimum order value is 10,000, something which I'm putting like, okay. Now you can see now if I go to second plant, okay, 1200, then I can put like this 002 and I put like CFR, okay. Then I can put like something cost freight or something. Okay, now I'm just saving that. If you go to display, let's see if it is maintained, updated or not. I go to different data. First, go to this one. Test it is 001. If I go to this one, then it is 002. That means when there is a different plans, automatically it will be the data was changed. Okay, so when if I created a PO, let's create a PO. Okay, PO, and if I'm using the same vendor, or maybe it is different vendor, right? One, okay, one. Okay, we're using these purchase organizations and I'm using these 1100. Okay, then okay, so you can see that what it is coming based on the my plant it is coming. Okay, now if I assign this to 1200 and okay, the details, then it is changed automatically 002 and CFR.
Yes.
Okay, so plant to plant also the conditions will be different. That is what plant relevant data.
Okay.
Here, any questions here?
No.
Okay, so this is the plant relevant data and vendor subrange. Okay, now then if I go to OMSG, you can see that you can see here the first factor is name and description is common, and number ranges, one-time vendor account, field status, then number sub-ranges and plant relevant data, then this is the partner function. So partner function, when we're talking about a partner function, it is separate topic. Okay, a little bit different topic. It is partner functions is the we have one topic like partner determination. Okay, so partner determination is nothing but like based on your document type, based on your process, what partners functions needs to be allowed for this per PO, or what partners needs to be allowed for your RFQ, what partnership should be allowed for your scheduling agreement or contract. Okay, so that it will be we are defining in the partner determination. That partner determination have the partner schemas that we are assigning here.
Like terms and conditions, like
No,
SDK.
not terms and conditions. It is partners, which we are discussing, right? Goods supplier is different, alternative pay is different. Okay, supplier is different, ordering address is different, invoice presented by is different. Okay. So example, if you see that Amazon is taking only orders, but they are not supplying the goods. Who is supplying the goods? Nearest local vendor, who is the vendor that he is supplying. So he is also partner to the Amazon.
Mm.
Okay. So like in the partner
Hello.
Okay, so we have the different partner types are there. Okay, the partner determination, we have the partner types are there. Okay, what are the partner types are there? Vendor, main vendor, PN is the main vendor, and O is the ordering address, and invoice presented by. Okay, and payee. Okay, to whom we can pay the amount. Okay, forwarding agent. Okay, that means who is the transportation, who is the forwarding, like transportation and all, who is the forwarding agent. So like we have the again GS, goods supplier. Okay, so like we have the different partner types are there, standard partner types. You can use the partner types when if the vendor having the partner functions. Okay, if the vendor having the partner function, that means main vendor is the Amazon. Okay, if suppose my business running by the main vendor is Amazon, but order is the ordering address is Amazon or Amazon India. Okay, Indian website, and invoicing presented by something like to who will be invoice presented by here, maybe some third party finance vendor. Okay, something finance vendor, just saying that. Then to whom we need to pay, let's say assume that there will be bank third party bank, it is there. Party bank application is there. You are paying like Paytm. Okay, it may be a pay job. Okay, so our citrix like that something. Then forwarding agent is maybe transportation vendor, who is maybe some transportation vendor. Okay, then who is the supplier? Who is the supplier? He is the regular nearest vendor. That means who is the supplying the goods? Maybe I can say Samsung, or it may be Sony or something like that. Okay, so it may be a transportation vendor is like a courier. You can say courier. Maybe maybe I have the couriers like Blue Dot. Okay, or something like DTDC couriers there for. Okay, so like you can use the multiple partners and they can do that. Clear?
Yeah.
So what will be happen? What will be happen if there is any chargeable or anything which is like forwarding there, they will be charged, and ordering address. That means when ordering address will be impacted, when you creating the pivot, that pivot information will go to ordering address. Okay, when goods supplier will be happen, when you are receiving the goods from vendor Samsung, not from main vendor, right? And when you're paying the amount, we are paying to the whoever the third party application which is paying. Okay, maybe it's Paytm or Paytm or something. They are the partners to this Amazon. So they will be taking care about all the payments once it is processed. Clear?
Yeah.
So like you can define your own partners. For that, what you need to define, you need to be define the partner schemas. Okay, that is the process of partner determination. Okay, so if I just put that main vendor is the mandatory and ordering address is mandatory and invoice present by mandatory, then if I just put like mandatory, then if you created the PO without this information, the system will not allow you to create a PO. So you must be enter the who is the main vendor, who is the good supplier and all.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so that is the functionality of that. Okay. Or if you maintain in a vendor master record, then automatically that information will be captured into the PO. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So if I go to SPRO, and if I go to partner determination, there is a partner determination process right there in the material management. Okay, so what they will do, partner functions, and I will go to purchasing. Then vendor master record, then not here, partner determination, here, not here. There might be separate topic, partner determination.
Business partner it will be.
No, the partner determination, then
Very
here
good.
partner roles, define partner roles here. So you can see it is a some of them which is SD related, some of them which is vendor related. It is there. You can go to VN, which is like main vendor. Okay, then you can go to
OA.
OA, ordering address. Okay, and you can go to invoice present by IP. Okay, then you can go to payee, who is the payee, then you can go to payee. And if you can go to forwarding agent, then if you okay, if you're not able to pay forwarding agent, okay, then supplier, good supplier, okay, GS. Okay, so like you can define your own functions also, or you can use the standard as well. Okay,
Okay.
okay, like you can use. Okay, so why there is a forwarding agent? Why it is not there? Might be there's somebody they deleted, or it might be code was different, F5 or something maybe. Forwarding agent it is not there here. Okay, let's see if someone is deleted. FS it is somebody they changed FA. It must be FA, but it is FA.
Standard itself they have changed now.
Maybe they are doing something. Okay. So whatever it may be, okay. So the code you can define. Then what you can do, you can maintain languages, switch languages and all. Then permissibles. Though in my I'm just allowing to that what I created my vendor account group, whether these partners are needed or not. So I'm just giving the permission. Okay, I don't need all these partners and all. So I can what I can define, I can go to and then select that VN. Okay, then I just selected my
Let them.
MVK something. Okay, okay, that I just selected that. Okay, then enter. Then ordering address, OA, ordering address. Then again, I'm just allowing to this as well. Then forwarding FS something, forwarding agent. Then I'll just put like okay. Then pay. Then so that means I'm just giving the permission that okay for my account group you can use this fund of there is a possibility there they can use. Okay, it's not necessary but they can use. Okay, then
Okay.
code supplier. Okay, code so because each vendor have their own functionalities, right? Okay, so I'm just putting like that. Okay, so my vendor account group when there is a vendor number is created. Okay, I can giving the permission, right? You can use this vendor partner type. Okay. Okay, now in the vendor master record, again you can define your own procedures. Okay, you can create your own procedures and you can assign that the partners, what partners it is. If it is no change, that means once you are assigned in the vendor master record, you cannot change in the PO. Okay, if you are not selected no change, that means even if you are assigned at the time of vendor master record, okay, in the PO also you can still change that. There is no problem for that. And if I just put the mandatory, that means it should be entered. If you're not entered, then it won't be. You cannot save the PO, or you cannot save the vendor.
Okay. No change means like after PO, whatever it is there, we can't change anything in PO.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
Okay.
This is vendor master card, right? So in the vendor master card, if it is PO level, then it is a PO level. There is option also PO. You can maintain for PO as well. The same process. Okay. This is for vendor master card. This is for the purchasing data. Okay. Clear? So what I can do now, I can just to maintain the my vendor. Okay. So what is my account group MA key? Okay. So that I need to be assigned that vendor sub-range level and purchasing organization data level and plant relevant data level. I can maintain what it is required. Okay. Then first what I will do, I'll just define my partner schema, which I just creating that my own style of that.
You already given, no?
No, I didn't give as of now. Okay. I just shown to you how it will work. Okay. But I didn't listen. So I just creating partner schema ZB1. Okay. Then I'm just the partner schema. I'm just putting that partners schema group. Okay. I'm just putting that. Then I just defining that what partners needs to be allowed. Okay. First vendor, which is VN is required. Okay, ordering address is required. I'm not putting a mandatory, but I'm just allowing all these, which is for my vendor master card. Okay. Okay, clear?
Yeah. Okay, before you given permission and here you are taking all those.
I'm taking that. What are the mandatory? What are the not mandatory? I'm just putting that. So I'm just putting that. It is main vendor is mandatory. Okay. Forwarding agent is mandatory. Like I just put that what it is mandatory, what is not mandatory. Okay. Okay. So I just putting that one is mandatory, but I am not putting other things. Okay. Okay. So you can also define like purchasing document level also you can define, but I'm just talking about vendor master card. I'm just going with my vendor master card. Okay. Now I'll be assigning that to my partner groups. So what is my partner groups? Get them MVK. So here I'm just assigning that my chair V1, right? Which is I created. Okay. You can also define for vendor subrange. We can also define for plant relevant data as well. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I created the vendor master record, okay, if I created a vendor master record, let's see how it will works like. Okay. So I'm just creating that. I'm just giving something. Okay. I'm just entering all the information which is required. Okay. Now you can see vendor is the mandatory. That's why it is coming automatically. The VN is mandatory. Okay, main vendor. Okay, so once the number it is saved, the main vendor is it is updated as a main vendor here. Okay, now my goods supplier is different. Let's assume that my goods supplier is different. Okay, so let's say what I created earlier, maybe I have some vendors, right? Okay, so maybe I can put like 1,000. Okay, or maybe if which I created, I can use that also, which I created previously. That vendors also I can use. Other the vendors which I created. What is the vendor account group? My vendor account group MVK.
MVK.
Yes, so I'm just looking at that. My vendors. Okay, this is my vendor. Okay, so which I created. So just taking that vendor is for the goods supplier. He can only supply the goods. Okay, then invoice presented by maybe our payment pay maybe. Okay, I'm just telling that. Okay, some other vendor. Okay. But again, company code data needs to be maintained. Okay, company code, because company code data is not maintained. So I'll take maybe this is also will not allow. Okay, I'll just take the forwarding agent. Maybe let's see if this will be work or not.
Like ZS you given.
No, sorry.
Okay.
No, I didn't maintain the company code data for this vendors. Okay. So,
Okay.
okay. So now if you see that, okay. Now this is the vendor which I created, and you can see the partners. This is like my partners are, these are the partners. So what is the partners here? Main vendor is this vendor. You can see the vendor number which is updated here as the main vendor. Then my forwarding agent is different, for both supplier is different. Okay. Now when I'm creating the PO, ME21, and with using this vendor number, okay, I'm just creating this vendor by using this vendor. Okay, now you can see the partners data here. You can go to in the top partners data, the partner data which is coming automatically.
Okay.
And again, it is mandatory. It is the grayed out. It is optional. Like why it is coming, because again the configuration level, purchasing document type level they are assigned. There is one more setting which I shown, right? Okay, so that is the at the document level. So what will be happen now? Okay, if I'm receiving the goods from this vendor, that means the ordering address, the goods supplier and forwarding agents are different, right? Okay, so what I can do, maybe I'll just try to put the right condition here for A1. Okay, so now if you want to be paid the amount to the some other vendor, right vendor is different, and in that case you can change the vendor name or number also here. Okay, instead of main vendor, you can change the some other vendor. Okay, so now what I will do, I'll just to release the PO. Okay, now I'll just release the PO. Now I'm just trying to do receive the goods. Okay, so the main vendor, you can see the main vendor is different now. You can see there's a purchase order. You can see the partners are here. The main vendor is different and supplying vendor is different. You can see to the job which we are assigned.
Yeah.
Clear?
Mm.
So like it will be changing that who is receiving, who is supplying and all, it will come. Clear?
Yeah.
So this is the way we can use the partner functions. Okay. Partner functions we need to use. That is the purpose of partner functions. So that also we can control in the vendor account group level. That means whether this vendor account group should be main vendor, good suppliers, and invoicing presented by all these things you can control. Clear?
Yeah.
So these are the main factors, main controls in the vendor master code. Okay, so that's what it is. Any questions?
As of now, no. Once practice will get.
Yeah. So please practice that. Okay, so that